friend of ours called, said she was having a problem. She owns a pie company, and one of her tools broke. So I'll take you over, show you kind of what that looks like, and then we'll get into it. Welcome to Sassafras Valley. So this is a pie press, okay? The way it works is you have a pie pan bottom here, and a pie pan top here. It's made out of, looks to be Baltic birch plywood, maybe? Top veneer on it's pretty heavy, so it may have like a maple veneer on it. But anyway, you put your pan in here, you put this under here, you bring this down, and it presses the dough out, okay? Problem is that if you don't have this exactly centered, it's going to squish your dough unevenly. Okay, so it has a locating peg. It's supposed to be here on the bottom, okay? Fits down into that mortise right there. And this peg, or this tenon, came loose. So someone grabbed a wood screw and kind of put it down in there in the hopes that it would work. It did for a while, but it don't now. And she wanted to know whether or not I thought I could fix that. Well, I think that's probably within my skill set to get that fixed, okay? The other problem is that the hinge along the back here has screws working loose, and in fact one of them's missing. She brought it to me, and the hinge pin here is starting to work its way out. She wanted to know whether or not I thought I could fix that. Well, I'm going to give that a try. But the biggest deal is getting the peg, the tenon put on that bottom platen. So I'm going to get started working on that, so the glue can be setting up while I work on the rest of it. Now, since this is used in food, it all needs to be stainless steel. So I'll have to see if I can come up with some stainless steel screws. I'm thinking my best bet is to take these little short ones that they had in there. That's either broken off or, yeah, it looks like it's broken off. And come up with some longer ones. So, I'll get started on that and put you up here and you can watch. Well, did a little more analysis. Found out that this tenon, or this plug, is 2.5 inches in diameter, 2 40 7, okay, goes into a 249 hole, okay, and that it is just shy of 1/2 inch, 464. My original thought was that I could take this plug, put it in there, drill in, put some dowels, then glue the dowels and the plug in there. But it's much, much cheaper to turn a piece of wood into a dowel, cut off slices, and use them. But what that does, if you'll look on this, is it puts end grain on your gluing surface. Nothing I can do about that. That's end grain, okay? This isn't. This is a face grain. It needs cleaned up a little, but it's still nonetheless a face grain, okay? And when those two go together, the glue's going to stick to the face grain, come loose from the end grain. So what I decided to do instead is check and see if I could use the dowels. And what I learned is this is an inside outside caliper, okay? However far open this is, that's how wide these are, okay? So if I open it to, let's say that's 1/2 inch right there, then this right here would be a 1/2 inch. And they're pretty accurate. They're within a few thousandths. So you can use that by placing it. Let me back you up here where you can see what I'm seeing. If you place it along that rim and put it out there in the middle, you can see that we have that much thickness in this plate, okay? Plus, this has got about 3/32, okay? 1 1/2/16 of mortise in it to center that tenon. So that ain't gonna work. Cannot use dowels. That just is not a long enough dowel to put in there to hold it. So what I'm gonna have to do instead is make a new piece to replace this one that has face grain in it. Hard maple, appears to be, should be anyway. It's oftentimes used in food applications. And this also is hard maple, this block right here. So what I'll do is I'll rip off a little over a 1/2 inch thickness here, plane it down till it exactly matches this thickness. Then I'll cut out the circle this way so that you have face grain on both sides, okay? Probably have to sand the edges to get it so that it's nice and round, but anyway, so I'm gonna rip this off with the bandsaw, plane it with the planer, then I'm going to mark this and cut it out on the jigsaw. And as I said, then I'll probably end up having to sand it to get the edges exactly right, because like I said, you don't want a loose fit because it affects the thickness of the pie crust on the edges. So at any rate, I'm gonna go ahead and get started ripping that piece off. This video is sponsored by the pie you can't deny. BigRspies.com. blade's getting dull, but got cut what I wanted. Yep, let's go to planer. Okay, so we've got to plane to 0.465. We're starting at 0.635. 5/8 to a little under a half. Let's cut it out. Okay, well, there's two of them. I need to have the center, because when I sand the edges, I may use that as a pivot point to get them perfectly round. I don't know. We'll just see how they come out. Because they have to be pretty tight. Fit in this hole here. And this one here. So, let's go to the scroll saw. We'll cut a couple of these out. Made two because I'm not above error. To keep my line clean. Okay, so that's two discs. Should be able to sand them. Okay, so I have this rigged up so that there's a pin here that goes through, and this pivots. So what I'll do is I'll advance this and take a swipe, advance it a little more, make a pass till I get it down. I'll be checking it with the calipers, the dimension I was after. If I get it to 249, then I'll check it, see if it's gonna fit. Okay, so let's fire this up. Okay, so we were looking for 0.2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 8, 5, and we've got 0.2, 4, 8, 4. Dang. 1,000 smaller. Yep. It'll swell. This one's probably damp. I'm gonna go with it. Let's see if it fits. That's the important thing. Okay. Here we go. That fits in there pretty good. I don't think I can drop it in there because I don't think I can get it out. But as you can see, it fits in there pretty good. The hole is more worn on top than it is the bottom. So I'm thinking that's gonna work. Now, all I've got to do is clean this out and get this surface ready to take glue, and I can put it in there. Okay, so I need to clean this mortise out here, and the right way to do it would be to take a 2.5 inch diameter Forstner bit and just dress it up a few thousandths. But I don't have a 2.5 inch Forstner bit, and I didn't make this 2.5. I made it undersized to fit this hole. So don't have, the problem is I don't know that aliphatic resin glues have ever been tested to see if they're compatible with pie dough. But I can tell you that this has got residue from pie dough in it. So I'm gonna make do. What I do have is I have a 2-inch chisel, okay? And that 2-inch chisel says the center is high. So what I can do is I can use it as a scraper and pull off a layer of that material a few thousandths thick and see if I expose dry material underneath it. I think that's what I'll work on. Still scraping mostly in the center, so still got a high center. Yeah, that's getting it. All right. A couple passes back to dress it all up. And it may be getting close enough to glue. I still want to come around and clean this edge up, but I'll take a smaller chisel for that. I don't want to cut in and make it any bigger, because I don't want to lose my center location. Okay. Well, I think that's about as much as I can expose without getting myself into trouble. And that should provide a glue surface. Let me get a smaller chisel to clean that up with. That big chisel just isn't very agile. So let me grab a ½ inch. ½ inch is pretty good. I'm just lightly scraping. I'm not trying to take anything out but dough right there. Okay, one more thing I want to do. Take a piece of 240 and go around this edge here and clean up the hairs, bristles that raised up, mostly on the end grain, and see if we can't put the ever so small of a chamfer on there so that when she slides it up to go in the hole, it doesn't hit on that sharp edge and booger up that mortise that she's got. So I'm going to just go around the outside here and clean that up. There we go. All right. I guess it wouldn't hurt to clean that up every bit we can. Let's go with the grain, duh. Okay. Yeah. All right. Going to go ahead and set up, and we'll just glue that baby in there. Then we can go to work on the rest of it. Okay, well, I pulled out all the loose screws, and one of them was broken, so I don't know that we're going to be able to fix it unless I just take it all the way apart. Let's just check them out. Let's see. See how many broken ones we got. Because I don't have a screw extractor, and we're going to have to rebore it. There's one, and then that's the first one, isn't it? Yep. All right. So, got two so far. All right, got two broken screws. So, mark those, and we'll go move them. Let's move this one this way, and this one this way. Okay? And let's add one right here. Okay, so we'll put an extra screw in there. Okay, I'm going to zip this off, and then we'll go bore for some screws. Alright, so that's not bad. Get a center punch. A little carbide tipped one right here that might work. Stainless steel's a little hard to work with, but it can be did. Yep, that'll work. Okay, so figure out what that diameter needs to be. Oh. 221. That might be a letter drill. I'll go find one And then we'll drill it. So I found that a 7/32 bit is the right one. That looks about right. Alright. Now, let's chamfer them. Yeah. Grind this off, clean this thing up a little bit, and we'll put it back on there. I got this hinge off here. I might as well try, see if I can straighten it out a little bit. It ain't gonna be that easy. Okay. Oh yeah, that's kind of bringing it back in. Okay, so let's see. Okay, that's got it all the way through, and it don't work bad. Let's fix that so that hinge don't come out, okay? Let me just give it just a little bit more of a whack here. Okay. So, a way to do this, I use it a lot whenever I'm using piano hinges, is to take center punch here and pin it in place. Just need to make sure it turns with that. I put a couple of the short screws in there to hold it. I've got longer screws, but short ones are what came out of it. They weren't loose down here on the bottom, so I'm going to just do that to hold it in place, and then we'll look at replacing them. I want you to notice something. This here is cross grain. This is end grain. The ones that pulled out were the end grain ones. Okay, so now we gotta get another tool out. This is a self-centering bit. And let me find a firm place to do this on. This is a self-centering bit. Has a point that comes out of there that's made just for hinges. It's also called a hinge punch, and it has a plunger that comes out here, and you hold it perfectly straight, When you punch it, it makes a little divot. And that shows you where to put that screw to get it centered. And sometimes it hangs up. Okay. Now, for a lot of jobs, that would be deep enough if you were going into softwood. But being this is plywood, I'm going to pilot drill those. So I'll set that up and then we'll put those screws in. So 3/32 inch bit. All right, one, didn't break, that's a good deal. Oh, nope, didn't break. A little crookedish, I might have drilled that one off just a bit. Let's see if this one's closer. Now, all right. Well, she's coming by to pick it up, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it out of the clamp for a moment. Give it a test. Just to make sure it ain't going to be a total disaster. Sits in there straight. And that, my friends, is how pie dough is pressed. Just like that. I don't think this stop is adjustable here. I think you just bring it all the way down. And that's how much pie dough you got. And it seems to be even all the way around. And the outside of the two halves of the die are aligned too. So I think that'll work. But let me get that back in that clamp. Because that glue is not completely dry. Okay. So I'll let you know if she's got a problem with it, but I'm thinking that's pretty close to what she asked for. And I may try to wrangle a blackberry pie for this job. If I do, I'll enclose a picture of it. If I don't, well, I tried. I want to thank the ladies at Big R's Pies for giving me the opportunity to work on this little project. I did not know how a pie press worked. And of course, I want to thank them for making me that delicious blackberry pie. I enjoyed it. Perfect with Blue Bunny ice cream. I want to thank you for watching, and you have nothing less than a wonderful day.